Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Today is Saturday, September 8, 2012. I'm speaking with Mr. Debabrata Sarkar. This interview is being conducted in New Jersey. Mr. Sarkar, what's your dish?
I'm originally from Khulna, which is present in Bangladesh.
Okay. And name of the village or
Okay,
city?
my village name was Kodamara and it is in division Bagherhat.
Bagherhat, Kodamara.
Right.
Have you ever lived there?
Yes.
How long did you live there?
Actually, I left Bangladesh when I was around 7.5 years old.
Okay.
So I lived there more or less up to that age from my childhood.
So, do you remember what year approximately when they left?
I lived there, we can say that
Until what year?
1940 to 1947, 15th August.
15th August, you still remember the date?
Yes.
Now, who else did live there?
Actually, this is our ancestral home.
How many
And,
generations you lived there?
Actually, there is around a courtyard. We had 7 generations living there.
7 generations lived there. Can you tell us how was the village like? Was it a, mixed village, Hindu village? And how is your house like? Can you tell us a little bit?
Yeah, the village was a mixed actually. Both, there's all kinds of people out there. There are doctors there, there are workers
Hindus and
there,
Muslims both?
and Hindus and Muslim. Our next door neighbor on one side was Muslim,
Okay.
and we lived there pretty, in a good way. In a sense, there was no conflict as such.
Okay.
We each depended on each other, and life was pretty peaceful.
How was your building like? It's a short, small building, tall building,
Okay, see,
big
the-
building, thin
See,
building?
when I said we lived 7 generations around a courtyard, of course, many generations died before. What I meant was that the present group of the 7 generations descendants lived around the courtyard.
So
And
it
there
was
are-
an extended family basically.
but it was not, another single cooking situation. Around the courtyard, there may be 2 or 4 or 5 different ones.
Okay.
But the tradition was there that when the family expands in its room, you just go out and build another one. The courtyard is very big actually.
Okay.
And even when I was a child, there is still room left to build more houses around
Okay.
it.
Okay.
And what they did was they'll call the masons and others and build another house.
Another house.
You get a pond in return because you have to burn the brick there, you have to do everything.
So you had many ponds there?
Yes, around the house there are lots of ponds.
Lots of ponds. And did you go to school there?
Yes, that was the primary school,
Okay.
but
What's the name
that
of
was
the school?
unique. The school I don't think had a name itself.
But the village school?
Village school, but it was unique in a sense that it was from class, I guess from very primary, before the infant class to all the way to 4th.
Okay.
But as the village, it has a roof, thatch roof.
Mixed boys and girls both?
Mixed boys and girls, and it was mixed. It's a thatched roof. It had no walls.
Oh, no walls.
No walls. In fact, between the classes, there's no wall. But at that time, it didn't look that bad because everybody was kind of respectful and fearful of the teachers. So peace prevailed, and there was no conflict as such.
Now, what's the name of your parents?
My father's name is Kalipada Sarkar, and my mother's name was Shulekha Sarkar.
Now, were they in profession, both of them?
My mother was a housewife,
Okay. And father?
Father, he worked, when we were born, he used to work as a, chemist
Okay.
in a manufacturing company. They primarily made soap and
Nearby?
fragrance, but it was in Calcutta.
Oh, so he worked in Calcutta.
Right. I may add a few things here. See, though our ancestral home is there, but generations we had a tradition of going to school to the village, then come to Khulna Jila school for the upper education, then move to Calcutta for college education. So, and the parents, some of the parents lived in Calcutta and worked there. It was not so much for earning a living, but sitting at home will look bad.
Yeah. Okay. But it was a profession, worked there.
Right,
So,
but it
but
was...
you used to come visit during holidays and stuff?
No, they used to come every weekend because
Every
Khulna was not that difficult. At that time, you'll recall the British time, Saturday was a half day.
Okay.
And there used to be express train from Calcutta to Khulna,
Okay.
because the distance is not great. I think it's 80 miles or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And they used to go there, and they will reach the village if they want to come to the village, possibly by dusk evening, something like that. Because though it was difficult to our village actually, you have to come to the train station, cross the Rupsa
Yeah.
canal, and then take a meter gauge, smaller railway, then go there, and then you take another boat to the village. But this was all well coordinated. In a sense, it was very fast.
So yeah, I mean, so when it reaches, the boat leaves, and then when the train
Right,
leaves,
right.
they were all coordinated. Now, when did they move to Calcutta? And why?
Well, my father was living there because he worked there.
Yeah.
And before the Second World War, we had a house in Calcutta, it's the rented house. And in fact, when the dropped bomb in Calcutta, everybody abandoned that house and went back to Khulna village. And so when this Pakistan thing happened, we had no real place there. We had no rented place, but we came nevertheless and rented place and lived there.
Why did you come? Do you know why did you?
Yeah, I can give very distinct. See, I was there, but you will recall that Khulna was declared Hindustan, part of India before. And then 3 days later, they exchanged with Murshidabad to get passage to Assam.
Okay.
And so we knew, we lived that. In fact, I personally drew Indian flag in our village on 15th August.
Okay.
And in fact, at that time, as I mentioned, that you had to do the chokro, whole,
circle, yeah,
whole thing, not only the circle, the whole thing,
Spike.
and everything. And we had great difficulty in drawing the whole thing.
Oh.
But when Khulna was declared part of Pakistan, I was in Calcutta at that time.
Oh.
It's only a few days, it's not a long period between the 15th August and that day.
Yeah.
And I distinctly remember my father's elder brother came to visit us where I was staying, which happened to be one of my aunt's home, my father's sister's home. And they are discussing, I remember my father's elder brother saying that what is the rush? My father saying, well, it is Pakistan, we have to leave. And my father's elder brother said, oh, so what? It's not a big deal really, and all the villagers said this same thing. So my father said that you don't know, it's a matter of time. We have to leave today or tomorrow. And
So he gave up hope.
he was convinced that we won't be able to stay there. He
There
said,
were no atrocities, no attacks.
nothing there. But by
But
the
in other parts of Bengal you had, right?
right, in Chittagong there's problem. There are other parts there are problem, and they live
Noakhali.
Noakhali, I think part of Sylhet, all this, and they lived during the dark period in Calcutta, and they witnessed the hostility there.
Calcutta was a Hindu majority. Do you think?
Still
Muslims?
Muslims, because at that time the legislation was controlled by Muslims.
Yeah, Muslim League.
And police essentially gave, this was here, I have no personal experience as such, they gave not protection, but did not arrive in where the Muslims are doing atrocities in time.
Okay.
I cannot say this is accurate or not,
Yeah.
but my father, by that incidents and others, he was convinced that as a group Hindus cannot cope with this kind of violence and atrocities that the Muslims can bring upon.
Okay.
So he was convinced that we will have to leave. It's a matter of time.
So you came to Calcutta right on the 15th of August.
But my whole family came only maybe a week later.
How did they come?
My father went, they packed a couple of suitcases or whatever they can bring personally.
What happened to the property?
That was a sad thing. Those 7 generations, the property titles are never really divided between the different groups. So selling itself, I think, was quite a challenge.
Yeah.
And so my father figured that, pursuing this thing is just going to waste of time. And because he has a job in Calcutta, he figured that I'll be able to figure out something. But his primary conviction that we won't be able to stay even if we try is just a matter of time. And he felt that he's still young, his children are very small, and he can start a life new, And so he decided to do that, and our family decided to do that, and they all came back.
Now, where did you, in Calcutta, did your family first come?
We arrived in ISPaD area, North Calcutta,
Yes.
and throughout the rest of our stay in India, we all stayed in ISPaD around that area.
So you grew up there. Did
Yes.
you go to school there?
Yes.
Which school?
The name of the school was Kumar Ashutosh Institution.
Yeah, it's a very famous one. And then after high school, what did you do?
I went to college
College?
and then went to B college.
Bengali Engineering
Yes,
College?
and
You became an engineer?
yes, and I worked for 3 years in Calcutta,
Okay.
and then I went to England.
Okay.
I worked there for 6.5 years, and then I came to USA.
So how was life like in Calcutta? Because you all came, your father had income.
Yeah, you see, this is unique, and I can see looking back. See, because when they worked there, money itself was not the real criteria. It was kind of thing that otherwise it looks idle. You are an educated person sitting around and doing nothing. So it was never, the earning was never meant to maintain or carry the family or support the family as such. But when we came in, very soon they realized that the money they earn is not enough to maintain the family here. In the long term, they have to do something better and different. So my father changed the company he used to work. The company went bankrupt. Okay, and so he took a job with another company, which people may know is a UN Brahmacharian company who discovered the cure for malaria. Yeah.
Yes.
And he worked there for the rest of his life, more or less, till he retired. And so he came in and worked there, but he also on the side started to do some small business to earn money. But there's not enough really, because the groundwork was not there. So we had childhood-wise, we are not money people, to put it this way.
But so there was a decline, I suppose, from at least your land, and you had no rent to pay when you were in the village.
Right.
Now all of these things.
All these things has to be paid. Previously the money itself, your upkeep of the family, their food, their shelter, they never have to provide really as such. Now they have to provide everything. So that created a financial hardship, and my childhood went through that. But personally, I don't feel that I missed anything.
So when did you come to the United States?
I came here in 1972.
Now, how many brothers and sisters you had?
I have 2 brothers and 1 sister.
So they all grew up in Calcutta.
Right. And
Very
they're
nice.
still in Calcutta.
Still in Calcutta. Did you get any help from the government as a refugee, or did you declare as a refugee?
Yes, we did. During the school years, I think they used to give some kind of financial help.
High school also?
High school,
And
yes.
college?
I think college, I went through ISC, there was no such thing, but I think B college I got something.
So, some help. But other than your family, did they get any government help, money or anything from West Bengal government or
No, not
Pakistan
really.
government or
no.
India government?
No,
But
no
that's-
direct help.
Yeah, but yours is a scholarship sort of help.
Right, the thing the government gave, that
Yeah.
thing, for me it was basically what happened. I was valedictorian, my tuition was free. So
very
when the
bright
government was
student.
giving the money,
Yeah.
school was taking it.
Yeah.
For us it was nothing.
Now, how was the house like when you settled in Paikpada? Is it a rented house? Or
It's a rented house.
is it an apartment or
Well, in India at that time, I'm talking 1947, there's nobody built apartment houses. They used to give
So,
rent part of their house.
part of the room, some rooms,
Some
sometimes
rooms,
sharing the bathroom also.
Right.
So, how long did you live there?
Paikpara?
Yeah.
Oh, at different houses we lived.
All your life?
All my life till I came to United States. Even after that, people are in the house. We lived in Paikpara.
Always rented? Did they?
Always rented.
Okay. Do you know West Bengal is a Hindu majority state. Muslims are minority. Bangladesh, Muslims are majority, Hindus are minority. Have you ever thought in why minority Muslims are able to stay in West Bengal, but minority Hindus are not able to stay in Bangladesh?
Well, their basic reason, their constitution starts as the Islamic State. Bangladesh has kind of inherited that, but when Pakistan was created, it was clearly, when India said that we are a secular state, the Pakistan constitution started with the thing that we are a
Just
Islamic
because
state.
of the name? I mean, name may mean something.
No, the constitution I believe says that it's a
Yeah.
Islamic state.
But listen, I mean, Europe, many states are officially Christian. England is officially Christian, but
But
my
it's
question
not
is,
I think none of the in England is a Christian society, Christian thing, they observe thing, but nowhere in their constitution it states that is a Christian state.
Achha. Okay. So because of that, because Christian state says that, that's why you think that's the problem. Do you know if anybody benefited because of partition of Bengal?
I would say that Muslims possibly who migrated to Bengal and bought property from Hindus who are fleeing, I think benefited. I know personally many instances that they bought things outright cheap, almost in a fire sale type of price, because under the violence, under the pressure, Hindus are trying to leave, and it was known to people in parts of India, Muslims who wanted to go to Pakistan or Bangladesh, that they can have it and they can get it very cheaply, and they did that.
Yeah.
And
have you ever gone back to your village after coming?
not my village, but right after Pakistan, I think 1949, I think we went to my mother's sister's home who are still living in Pakistan in another part of Khulna. We went there for a, you can say, vacation break, whatever, for 5-6 weeks during that was my last visit.
Achha. So how did you feel?
Well, I have nostalgic about this thing, that because I remember my village, the houses, the neighbors. I went to school there for 4 years.
Yeah.
So, I have this personal feeling, and I remember what this thing, how we used to go to swim. At night we'll go out to, get mangoes or this or that, juice from the sugar plums and things.
Were you ever discriminated, or do you feel discriminated in India as somebody from East Bengal?
No, actually what happened, I think this partition, many countries got partition, but I think it was mishandled, because the government at the time should have tried to do some official exchange, which
Okay.
I believe went to some degree in Punjab, it was done. But Bengal was kind of left to fend for themselves, and it was never officially, neither the central government nor the West Bengal government ever tried to create a situation where a fair negotiation could be done.
Yeah.
So the Bengali Hindus who had to leave, not only had to leave on their own, they had to live under the threat. And obviously that was a situation where they cannot benefit in any way.
Yeah. Now, do you think can Hindus and Muslims live together?
I would say that it's a possible thing, as long as the people has the general idea, but there are extremist elements who foment these problems and others, and that I believe in big societies. But looking at the fundamental cause of Pakistan and Hindu, all the Muslims in Bangladesh, Bengali Muslims, basically came from lower caste and poverty, and they converted to Islam maybe 300-400 years back. So in a sense, when they got this authority and power, they felt that they can take it without problem, and it was very
But
easy.
that would be class problem, but that's not religious problem.
Oh, it is kind of
Yeah.
fomented in a sense, because they're Muslim, they can get it. It kind of reciprocated with the idea that being Muslim, for ordinary people who are not looking very explanatory way or logical way, they feel, but I'm Muslim, so I want this and I deserve this and this is mine. You
Yeah.
see.
Now, I'm almost to the fag end. Is there anything that I didn't ask you'd like to say? Add?
Well, I think the main thing is that I think historically, though overall you never said, there has never been a migration of people of a such large scale over such a long period, when group, and involuntary, I should mention, that is involuntary. Even today, though in Pakistan I follow cricket, I see some Hindu names here and there, but basically it is a society where Hindus are under constant threat, and they're vulnerable. Their constitution doesn't protect them. You go to court, I read stories and other things, when your government is not giving you enough support or protection as a citizen, obviously you have nowhere to turn, really. Sometimes you have good neighbors and you possibly can live, sometimes we have bad neighbors. In fact, I can say one thing. One of my cousin, who is in India, he was born in India, and he worked for a Airtel, I think, and he as a manager went to Pakistan to install the Airtel thing, and as a sentiment, I don't know why, he went to our ancestral village, and he visited that, and when he went around and talked with people, obviously the house is occupied by all different people, but he went around, people, are not hostile to him. He asked that whose property is, and they apparently is all ours, all this thing. But these people are felt pretty free to say that this is their property, but there's no understanding, or there's no thing that they say that I'm living in somebody else's thing. That feeling or that understanding is simply not there.
Yeah.
And I think over the period of time, the Pakistani government or Bangladeshi government has created this thing.
Okay.
Of course, you can say the fleeing Hindus abandoning their property possibly gave also some kind of incentive, I should say opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
It's a mixed bag, but mostly the atmosphere at the beginning was created where the Hindus felt threatened, and most of the people actually, for people like us who came one night more or less with a